question for you. Do your parents ever ask you, did you brush your teeth? Don't forget to brush your teeth. Did you brush your teeth today, young man? Oh, I used to get that all the time. All the time. You get it too? Then you and I are on the same page, my friend. And that's what you do too. That's what parents do when they love you, when they're taking care of you. They ask you things like, did you brush your teeth? Don't forget to brush your teeth. It's very important to brush your teeth. But you know, one day, maybe a year from now, maybe 5 years from now, maybe 10 years from now, one day, your parents aren't going to ask you if you brush your teeth anymore. It's just going to be up to you. It's just going to be up to you. And you'll either keep those good habits and keep brushing your teeth, or you'll say, you know what? I'm grown up now. I'm going to do what I want, and I don't want to brush my teeth anymore. Hopefully, you'll do what your parents told you to do, because it was a good lesson. When Jesus tries to teach a good lesson, he doesn't give you a lecture or a long sermon. Jesus will often tell a story. It's called a parable. And what a parable is, it's a story that has a message to it, has a lesson to it. In other words, it's a story that tells us something about who we are and who we could be. A parable is a story that tells us something about who we are and who we could be. And the parable for this Sunday is the parable of the lost son or the prodigal son. And I remember the first time I heard this parable. First time I heard a pastor give a sermon on this, I think I was probably about Jackson's age. And I heard this parable, and I was so amazed, I was so impressed. I liked the story so much. You know what I did? When I went home, I got out my Bible, and I read it for myself. And then I read it again, and then I read it again. You ever seen a movie that you liked so much you went home and read the book? It was like that for me. Or maybe you went online and you're watching all the YouTube videos to find all the scenes and how they broke it down and all the Easter eggs and all the connections that were in the movie. This parable has always been my favorite. I feel like I know all the Easter eggs. I could easily it'd be easier for me to give a 10-minute sermon than a 3-minute message on this. So in order to try to trim that down, I was thinking this morning what I might say, and I was brushing my teeth. And I looked at the tube of toothpaste, and on the tube of the toothpaste were these words. It said on my toothpaste tube, it said, wake up, brush teeth, make change. And I thought, that's a bold statement for a tube of toothpaste to make. That almost sounds like a church mission statement. Wake up, brush your teeth, and make change. Do good, change the world. We can do it, guys. Come on, let's go. Did you brush your teeth? Okay, we're ready. Now, in the parable of the prodigal son, it's a story of a son who lives with his family. He's got a good life. Everything's good. But one day he wakes up, he brushes his teeth, and he decides he wants to make a change. He doesn't want to live here anymore and go by his parents' rules. He wants to go out on his own and do his own thing. So he tells his father, Dad, I'm leaving. All the money that you would have ever given me, I want you to just go ahead and give it to me right now, and I'm going to go out and do my own thing. Well, the father says, okay. And he divides up his wealth and he gives it to the son, and the son goes his own way and does his own thing. And you know what the son does? I can relate. He decides to party every day like it's his birthday. With all his friends, having a good time. And after a long time after doing that, guess what? All the money he had, it's all spent. It's all gone. He's flat broke. And then a famine comes, and he's hungry, and nobody will help him, so he's in trouble. So he's able to get a job working on a farm feeding pigs, and it's not a party anymore. And he's sad, and he looks at the person he's become, and he thinks about the person he was, who he might be. And then he remembers his father, and he says, this is what I'll do. I'll get up today, I'll brush my teeth, and I'll make a new change. I'll decide to go home to my father and say, Father, I'm sorry. All the wrong things I've done, can you please forgive me? And maybe, just maybe, my father will give me a job better than feeding pigs. So he decides to walk that long walk back home to his father. And while he's still far away, his father looks out on the horizon and he sees his child walking home. And this is the part that surprised me. I did not expect this. This is why I went home and read it over and over again and again to make sure that it was true, because what the Father does next was not expected. The Father runs to his child with the arms wide and hugs them and says, I love you. Welcome home. Welcome home. And the lesson that Jesus tells us in this story is that we can often be the kind of person who goes off, does their own thing, and does some things that aren't very good, don't work out very well, kind of like not brushing your teeth. But God is always there waiting for us. And as soon as we decide to make a change, to come back to God, God runs to us, arms wide, and he welcomes us. And he says, I love you, welcome home. And he asks that at any time we see another brother and sister decide that they're going to come home too, we say, we love you, welcome home. Amen. Thank you guys for listening.